on to SZABOLCS versus DOREMY.
Wow, this is a great match.
Now, I know I'm going to put my points. I always love to put my points with the underdog. Come on, SZABOLCS.
Yeah,
I believe.
He's got a lot to prove here because DOREMY is, you know, he is goated. He is one of the best players.
It's DOREMY.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the world. But SZABOLCS is coming through. He's on the up. He's on the rise. So this is the kind of match where one player is, you know, an established top player and the other player is newer but has a lot to prove. So this is going to be a great matchup.
And we really can look forward to seeing the all spins here.
Yeah, both players are very proficient with the all spins, so it's going to be great to see who uses them to greater effect. DOREMY. Oh, is this the actual match? There's no warm up. Okay, cool.
No, that was. Oh no, it is the actual match. I thought there was a warm up. I read that wrong. No warm up. Okay, DOREMY takes the first point.
They're here to play. This is going to be from a speed perspective. This is going to be a very interesting one because DOREMY is a very quick player, and I think SZABOLCS he's more of a cerebral, slower player who wants to maximize efficiency, and in doing so will play a lot slower. And I know personally it's very frustrating playing SZABOLCS because he plays slow but very well, and I get frustrated because I'm thinking I'm playing a whole PPS faster and I'm losing. How is it possible? So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if DOREMY, you know, faces the same fate. I suspect he won't, but it'd be interesting to see how the speed has a bearing on this match.
Yes, it's definitely not the first time I've heard about that kind of frustration playing a defensive player.
Yes, it can be a little bit annoying. But I noticed that SZABOLCS, his opener's quite quick. He opens it about 3 PPS, but then in the mid game he slows down to about 2.5, 2.6. And I'm hesitant to say this, but I would maybe even predict that playing at that speed, he's going to find it very tricky to play against DOREMY, because even if you're super efficient, if you're playing someone who can comfortably play at 3.5 PPS, there's a certain speed where that difference is insurmountable, even if you play really efficiently. So we'll have to see if SZABOLCS' speed can come through here, or if it's going to be just a real uphill battle.
And it's fascinating to see those speed differences, and also very glad to see that already right from the outset we do not have a sweep. I love to see players like this really duke it out, and there we go. SZABOLCS is actually taking the lead here.
He's in the lead. We'll have to see if he can maintain this lead, because it's
is
always
this the day of upsets.
Yeah, this could be the big day of upsets. It's always really good for your confidence. Once you have a lead versus a top player, you have this surge of confidence, if you excuse the pun, and that surge, it can carry you into getting points where if you didn't have that confidence, you wouldn't get those points, right? Because Tetris is such a mental game. Sometimes that confidence can have make a huge difference. And with DOREMY, hopefully he doesn't have the opposite of, if he starts losing points, he might get frustrated and think, I shouldn't be losing points to this player, and then he can then start playing worse because of that. So it's going to be quite a mental game in this set, I think, especially with the speed difference.
And you can see that SZABOLCS is definitely playing well on the defensive, because DOREMY sent a 26 spike and SZABOLCS was able to only actually take a couple of lines onto the board. That was very well played.
Yeah, SZABOLCS is very, very good at tanking damage and not getting topped out, even with big spikes, because he's, as you say, he's a very defensive player, and he understands how to use spikes to counter spikes and just find that perfect moment to win point. Yeah, exactly. It's as we say it, it comes true. This
is absolutely incredible to watch.
Yeah.
As much as I really love DOREMY as a player, I absolutely love to see it when we do get upsets and things like that, and other players kind of come through. So I love to see this.
Yeah, 100%. It's always nice when there is
But DOREMY can always turn it up another notch.
Yeah, he can, and DOREMY might, one thing that's going to give DOREMY a lot of strength in this set is knowing that he's a good player. Sometimes just having the knowledge that you're a top player can carry you to get points where someone who's not proven themselves as much would not find the form, or not find that last bit of of strength, but because DOREMY knows he's won big tournaments, so he's going to just think to himself, that's going to give me confidence.
He's pretty much the best of Europe.
Yeah, exactly. So having that title is going to have a bearing on this. But the thing is, I know DOREMY, he's very hard on himself, and from playing him in TL, sometimes I can get the sense that he gets very frustrated and very tilted when he is not playing to the level which he thinks he can play. And in a tournament setting, that tilt can really make a difference. So we'll have to see how well he can manage his frustrations if he starts losing. But it's going to be
It's definitely something that's very challenging, and another thing that affects players at all levels is that kind of disappointment in yourself. Like, it's not frustration at the person you're playing whatsoever, it is purely at yourself.
Yeah, and Tetris isn't a team game, which is another huge thing, because when you have a team game and you lose, you can blame other people, but with Tetris, if you lose, it's all on you. So that means that you can be. It means that if you lose, there is inevitably the doubt, the self-doubt, and the questioning, like, why did I lose?
Yes, I think there's a huge difference between losing because the other person was at a skill level much higher than you and you played your best, and then losing but not feeling like you've actually played at your best skill. And I think that's where it becomes hard to get through that.
Yeah, there are lots of.
Because sometimes you do just get bested, and that's absolutely fine.
Exactly.
Especially when maybe we allow non-Europeans to join our tournament.
Yeah, that can lead to quite one-sided matches, unfortunately. But that's completely correct. And I've read a lot about like top sports people and how they think, and one common thread is lots of top sports people say that if they play their best, sometimes they don't even mind losing as long as they play their best. It's when they don't play the best, that's when the frustration gets in. And even if you lose but you feel like you played your best, actually you don't get frustrated, because you think, well, there's nothing else to go done, but it's when you don't play up to the standard which you're capable of, that's when you can start getting really angry with yourself. So we'll have to see if DOREMY can.
Well, it doesn't seem like that's affecting DOREMY too much at the moment, as DOREMY has just won 3 points in the row to take the lead. But it's always, I think sports psychology is really fascinating, especially in esports.
Exactly. Because it's a competition, so lots of sports psychology does apply to Tetris, and I'd be curious to see if any of the top players. I'm not saying these players are not top players, but like the world top 10.
DL.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see if they've read any books on sports psychology, because at that level of competition, sometimes the mentality of the players is what makes the difference between like the best and the best of the best. So it's it'd be interesting to see if any.
And I can really see
the mentality.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That definitely does not apply just to what we would consider physical sports. Esports is just the same.
If anything,
and DOREMY really is taking the lead now.
Yeah, I've noticed that DOREMY's slowed down considerably, and I wonder if that's just because he knows that if he plays quick, he might be playing more emotionally, and that might spiral into disaster. So he's choosing to play slow just so he can get some control and
almost matching SZABOLCS' speed.
Yeah. Sometimes one good counter to a slow defensive player is to play slow and defensive yourself, because then you're not going to trip up and like have a situation where you really quickly send a bunch of lines, but your opponent is in a real safe position and he just sends it all back, and because you played quickly, you've actually made some error in your stacking, which then leads you to be in a precarious situation, and then you just get beaten. So I wonder if that's DOREMY's thinking here, of playing a bit slower. But I noticed.
And I think this is another thing that really separates good players from the best players, is being able to modify your gameplay to this level in order to defeat the opponent that you've got in front of you.
100%. Being adaptable is a very strong suit of top competitors, because often at the
5 points in a row.
Yeah, SZABOLCS, he had a great start, but I think he might have let that lead kind of get to him, and then I think we've just returned to normal here, unfortunately, for SZABOLCS, of just DOREMY thinking, I am the better player, I'm gonna prove that in the game. And I noticed SZABOLCS is making some questionable decisions there. He had a lot of cheese on DOREMY's board, but unfortunately SZABOLCS just stacked over his.
There were a couple of just missed drops there that just caused a couple of holes that slowed him down to a point that DOREMY was able to keep the pressure up. I do like this new opener that I've been seeing quite a lot in Season 2, where it's kind of the PCO opener into a 5-4 stack. I'm really enjoying seeing that and seeing how players are using it for all spins. It's just a shame that DOREMY really has turned up the speed.
Yeah, that opener is really flexible.
Well, a shame for SZABOLCS, not for DOREMY.
Yeah. I'm sure DOREMY is pleased that he's managed to find some form here, because if he started losing more points, I could see SZABOLCS really causing great anger on DOREMY's side. And as soon as you get tilted in a tournament, that can just be it, because it's such a
so hard to actually challenge that.
Yeah, but he's really come back into this, and now he's on a streak. And when you're on a streak and you're a top player, it can really help build confidence. And for someone like SZABOLCS, who is less experienced, if your opponent is on paper better and they start building a streak, that can be quite devastating to your chances, because you start thinking like, am I even able to win another point, you know? And then you start questioning. And I think SZABOLCS, nothing's impossible, but SZABOLCS needs to really.
We are at match point now.
Yeah, this is nice from DOREMY.
But it does mean. It means we'll get a very interesting match for SZABOLCS in the losers bracket. So I look forward to seeing that.
Do you know who his next opponent is?
Yes, his next opponent will actually be Princess Celestia.
Princess Celestia,
not a player I'm that used to.
No, it's always.
Which makes me even more excited, because I love seeing new gameplay that I haven't seen before.
100%. Everyone's.
And it's another French player.
Wow, they're adding up. We got a lot of French.
Sorry, it's Elysian. I apologise. I'll be honest, when people keep changing their names, I get confused, and I'm just reading off the bracket.
You can't blame the commentators for the name change confusion. That is
No, especially when everyone decides to change their names to My Little Pony characters.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend in the Tetra in TL. What's the origin of this? Are you aware?
I actually don't know. I just know that it's driving Mega and I crazy when we try and deal with Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's going to be the whole cast before long. Yeah, every pony in existence is going to be a Tetra.
It's your first name. So what do you prefer to be referred to as? Do you prefer Elysian or do you prefer Princess Celestia? Because we will call you whichever you prefer and try to remember. Okay, Elysian. Okay, no worries.
Listen, all good.
Oh, SZABOLCS up at the top. That eyepiece, one piece. Oh my god, that was incredible.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
What save?
Yeah, that was really, really good. I think it might be too little too late, but we'll have to see if SZABOLCS can turn this point around and then use that.
I would love to see SZABOLCS win another point.
Oh wow,
and there we have it. I really love to see that.
At this point, every point is...
This could change everything.
Yeah, I mean, even if SZABOLCS loses this, every point he gets now is going to be a little bit of is going to be a confidence boost in his own skill, because if you lose 11-3, you can think, oh, I've just got destroyed. But if you lose like 11-6, 11-7, then you can say to yourself, it was actually competitive.
That was a good game.
Yeah, exactly. And that can be huge to build confidence. Wow, that was a beautiful spike by SZABOLCS. And DOREMY's playing quite slow, and I think he's playing slow because he wants to just finish this out. There we go. Yeah, that's slow approach.
There we go. I really loved that 4th point for SZABOLCS. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was good.
And as expected, DOREMY will go on to the finals against Neko.
No, bracket finals.
Not grand apologies. Winner bracket finals.
Oh, that was upper bracket. Okay, yeah, so that's DOREMY versus Neko in the upper bracket finals. That's going to be an absolute blockbuster of a game.